Please don't shoot the messenger, but I'm going to talk about something very controversial in EVE Online, and that is the skill point packs being sold for real money. Again. I already talked about this once this year, and I'm sure this will come up plenty of times in the future. My opinion still stays the same. If you want to check out this video, it's going to be here or in the description down below. But what I do want to get into is the particulars of this specific booster pack. So there's two different variants. One you can find on the EVE store that offers you 1.5 million skill points for roughly $40. That comes also with an accelerator, but that's besides the point. The other one is this email offer that has been sent out to people that do not play EVE Online right now, that have lapsed their account. So this is like an offer to encourage people to get back into the game and to catch up on their skill training. Now I know how divisive this topic is in the EVE Online community, but for the sake of curiosity and just for science, let's take a look at, are these packs actually worth it? Now whether you love them or hate them, let's set it aside for now and just dissect the exact specifics of these packs. So how do we assign a monetary value to our in-game skill points? Well, we start off with our trusty large skill injector that's used to apply skill points to your clone. So skill injectors, as you may or may not know, they actually give a different amount of skill points depending on how old your clone is or how many skill points your clone has. So if your clone has 0 to 5 million skill points, you will get a cool 500,000 SP when you inject this. If your clone is between 5 and 50 million, then you get 400,000. 50 to 80 million, it is 300,000, and anything above 80 million and you're kind of not getting much at all. In this case it's actually half, it's 350,000. So how much does one skill injector actually cost right now on the market? Of course these prices will vary, but let's take a look at JITA and see what we have here. And the best price in the market right now is 671 million if you want to buy it straight away, or if you want to deal with the market and try to make a buy order, that will cost you just a little over 641 million ISK. Of course, in the spirit of simplicity for this kind of tutorial and for the sake of instantaneousness, is that even a real word? But because you want the skills right away, right now, we're just going to buy this right away for 671 million ISK. So let's punch that in. The price for one is 671, 123. That is what we're dealing with in terms of how much in-game ISK you need to purchase one of these bad boys. From here on in, quite easy to figure out how much ISK does it cost to train one single skill point hypothetically. So we divide the price by the amount of skill points depending on how old your clone is. And you can, oh, this actually looks quite messy. Let's simplify this. There we go. It'll cost you anywhere between 1,300 to almost 4,500 is for a single skill point if your character has more than 80 million skill points. So hypothetically, purely hypothetically, if we were to buy exactly 1,620,000 ISK, we would have to pay this amount times 1,620,000, and that is slightly over 2 billion ISK. Of course, that's impossible to do because we can only apply this in increments of 500,000, which actually is easier to calculate for the skill pack available on the EVE store to everybody, but we're not going to talk about that yet. Right now we're just going to talk about how much ISK does it hypothetically cost to buy 1.62 million SP. Now it's time to tie in the value of ISK to real-world monetary value, and that's actually quite easy to do because we can all purchase Plex from the EVE store at no problem. There's a variety of Plex packages. I quickly copied and pasted all the information from the EVE Online store, but you can buy anywhere from 110 Plex for $5 almost, all the way to, I didn't go more than 2,800 Plex because, you know, let's not even bother with that. The prices get kind of ridiculous. I'm not sure who's buying that much Plex, but you know what, I don't judge. Whatever you do, you. This is your game to play. So now we're almost there to figuring everything out, but before that, let's figure out how much Plex is worth on the market. Once again, let's go back to our trusty JITA and take a look at Plex. Once again, because you want these skills right now, right this instant, I'm going to assume that you bought Plex from the EVE store and simply offloaded it straight to the buyers. We're going to disregard the quantity being available to buy whatever, which is going strictly hypothetical, and we are going to get about 2,704,000 for a single plex. So how much plex do we need to provide the account with this much ISK? Divide the ISK that you need by the price of plex. So anywhere between 804 plex to 2680 plex. This is how much plex do we actually need. Because you'll need at least 804 plex, all of these three first packages are kind of a moot point. I mean, there's no point for you to buy those packages because they're actually more expensive. You are gonna go and buy at least 1100 worth of plex. And how much does each plex cost in real world money? So that's almost 4 cents. I'm gonna simplify this number but keep extra decimal points just to set everything apart, because there's not much of a difference between the cost of a single plex depending on whether you buy 1100 or 2860. So with this in mind, the cost to purchase 1.62 million SP based on the price of plex is simply the amount of plex times the amount it costs you to buy a single plex. And there we have it, the first answer. We can extend it to everything except I guess the very last one. There is no point for you to buy 2 of these packs. It is cheaper to go with that way, but you know what, it's not gonna make much of a difference. It's less than a cent difference here. Either you pay 97.43 or you go to 93. You know what, it does make a difference. Never mind, what am I talking about? This is EVE. Every single little percentage point actually eventually makes a difference. But there you have it. If you are a clone that has less than 50 million skill points, or you know what, I would even say, what, 50 million minus 1.62, whatever that comes out to. Don't really want to bother calculating that right now. It makes so much more sense for you to actually just purchase plex and use it all to buy skill injectors and just inject them. If you have more than 50 million, then you know what, it does make more sense for you to buy this instantaneous skill point pack. It is a little bit cheaper. Another way to take a look at it is that $1 will get you 56,000 of skill points if you're a brand new character with less than 5 million skill points in your clone, all the way down to 16, almost 17,000 skill points for $1 if you are a veteran character. And this particular pack offers you 40,000 and a half per each dollar spent. Now, repeating this kind of information for the regular booster pack that's available on EVE Store to anybody that's currently playing EVE Online that offers you 1.5 million skill points, it's the same idea really. If you're a brand new character to roughly 2.5-year-old character, this is just not worth it for you. You might as well just buy plex and spend it. More veteran characters, of course, they could benefit, but I don't know about you guys. I'm in this category right now, 80 million plus SP, and I really don't need to catch up at all. Everything I'm training right now is simply, you know, just to have. There's nothing else that I really need. I'm just training for fun. Now, I'm not trying to mess with CCP's income stream here, but if you're gonna make a package that's beneficial for new players mostly, at least make it a good deal for them. Because these guys right here, 50 to 80 million plus, I don't think anybody wants these kind of packages. I don't know, I could be wrong. CCP have the data to find out whether players this old actually are buying this stuff. So to summarize, these guys are actually quite upset about these packs and some are quitting the game over them. And these guys that could maybe use them or are interested in them are not getting a good deal. Simply looking on paper here, yeah, half the people are supposed to be benefiting from it and the other half, well, not so much. Seems balanced, right? But not really. Well, that's all I have to say about these booster packs for now. Like I said, this kind of quick spreadsheet math can really help you figure out whether you actually want to buy these packs or not. As long as people are buying them, CCP will be supplying them. It's simple business. Thanks so much for watching, keep training those skill points.